Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. Get your coffee. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. Let's sit down this afternoon to be able to just have conversations, real, good, direct, no nonsense conversation regarding unproductivity. Yan. I know that many among women, men, mothers, people around me have been feeling unproductive. So let's unpack that this afternoon. Let's sit down and reflect what's our attitude about being unproductive. Nakaramdam ba tayo ngayon during this pandemic na parang walang nangyayari. Or that feeling that you've been doing so much pero parang wala ka pa rin nararating or hindi pa rin nagkakaroon ng any outcome, whatever that you're doing. So, join me for the rest of this afternoon session. We'll be on for about 30 minutes to talk about unproductivity. So, please share this video to family and friends whom you think might need this unproductivity. Being productivity is actually, when you say productivity, what comes to your mind? Bago natin yan uh, i-discuss. What happens to you or what comes to your mind when you hear productivity? So bago natin makita yung unproductive, let's look first unproductive. So what's the one word can you put there at the comment section? Results. Hi Karen, you're so early today, my love. Okay, results. Yan. Outcomes. Parang ano lang, thesaurus lang, di ba? Results, outcome. So, Yeng, are you very productive today? Product, tama. Gusto ko yung product nyo. I love your cookies. So, there, sarap ng kape. Salamat sa asawang nag-prepare ng kape ko. Hi Arlene, hi Yeng. So, what are the words that you connote whenever you hear productive? Ano? Results, outcome, kompleto na tong si ating writer friend si Karen Senya. Results, outcome, output, o di ba? Kompleto talaga. So here, why did I really, why would I really, should I be talking about productivity? Yes, because, for the past weeks, I've been doing sessions, private webinars for organizations, for corporate groups. The topic is on well-being, but I would like you to look into that our productivity is actually affected by so many factors, and I believe it's not the way that we have programmed and we have been used to pre-pandemic. Tama ba? Yung mga ways and means natin being productive. Yes, we want result. Yes. To, you're so funny. Pengi rin ako kape. Doon ka mag-order sa kanya. We want results, we want outcome, we want product, uh, there's energy. What we've been measuring it before, pre-pandemic, might be different now. So I would like you to put there in the comment, what's your issue in terms of being productive? Have you ever felt na parang nung daan ng isang araw at wala kang output, either it's for your home, for your family, or of course for our work? So have you ever encountered that? Have you ever been in that situation? Uh, so I would like you to reflect about that, na parang may nangyari ba? Walang nangyari? Karen, I'm not gonna samahan niyo. You're so funny. So, what are the issues that we've been encountering? We have been programmed, whether you like it or not, we've been programmed to be productive. I remember as a growing up girl, parang bawal ka rin ng hihiga-higa, hindi accepted so much of our culture, especially the generation ahead of us, that you are seen not doing anything. You're supposed to be busy. You're supposed to be having an output. There's an outcome in your day. Dapat may nangyari. And I know many of us can have been programmed that way. So look at it in the time of pandemic. What are the issues that comes about with their sense of productivity this pandemic? So if you see, I've heard a lot of people, they find it difficult to be productive simply because they're working from home. Because you've been conditioned na iwanan sa bahay ang trabahong bahay at iwanan sa opisina or sa office, sa workplace, yung trabaho. But that's not how it is. There is an intersection of family life or home life, and of course, there's an intersection with our business, our source of income, our career, unless you're working from home for quite a while. Even me, even me who've been working from home for a few years already, and I just go out whenever I teach or whenever I would have talks. On other days, this is where I write. I actually, the pandemic has affected my productivity because the people who's not supposed to be here when the day when a long day, it's supposed to be silent already, na akin na lang yung bahay, andyan sila. So there you go. This pandemic, there's lack of motivation. That's true, Chessy. And then Belle, you're saying that analysis by paralysis. Yes, and look at it this way. So what are the issues that we are having now? Work from home, working, you still need to work despite the pandemic. Despite the pandemic, the target, the sales quota, it's still existent. Yan pa rin yung mga the set standards maybe that your work has set out for you. It's still the same. So I would like you to look into that. Okay. And then how do you go about work-life balance, 'di ba? So yung iba yan yung issue nila, work-life balance. Parang paano ka ba makakabalanse ng buhay ngayon? Eh lahat nasa bahay. So, and how can you actually have that sense of productivity when you see maybe the load of chores that's there for you? Paano ka makaka-focus sa trabaho if meron magdo-doorbell, na delivery? So, how can you engage yourself in a meeting if at the back of your mind you're still thinking what will be your maybe ulam or what will be your menu for tonight? So those are the things that we don't need to deal with before, but we are dealing with now. Who among you can relate? But I would like you to reflect, what are the added factors? May mga bagay na nakadagdag dito sa productivity and they are not normal. What are they? The health crisis and the restrictions. I have talked to some women, either younger women or older women and some other men, who really feel burned out here being at home, right? The restriction can be getting into our nerves, especially if it's just too much. We have too much workload. We're trying to thrive at home. We're helping out our kids or other people at home. And then that's the feeling of being trapped. And because of the restrictions, we cannot do what we just, the simple joys that's just walking around the mall without anything, or just buying your drink in your coffee shop and then just lounging around for maybe 30 minutes. That before, like in the office, um, sa trabaho, di ba? Bumaba ka lang, may kape ka na, may chismis ka pang narinig. And that's actually a breaker. That's actually a break from being productive. It's not, for me, I don't see it as yes, it may be a distraction at some point, but if we know that we need to focus, we don't want to be distracted, and I believe that there are days that we do more. So the health crisis and the restriction are actually adding up to the bulk and to the issue of productivity. Another thing, grief and loss. This is something serious, friends. Many of us lost somebody. And the thing is, grief and loss. Lost work, lost a loved one, lost maybe a source of income, maybe in their business. But many people don't realize that their productivity is also affected by the grief that they're feeling. They feel na bakit ba hindi ako makatrabaho? Bakit ba ganito yung nangyayari sa sarili ko? They do not connect the timeline of events that happened to them. They see it, a few months back na naman yun eh. But in all honesty, we are affected in many ways by how the pandemic has hit us, no matter what state we are. Other things, ODL and work from home. ODL is online distance learning and work from home setup. Honestly, we're affected by this. That some productivity of mothers and dads, parang even though that they're focusing on their work, they're doing their best to focus on their work. They still have small kids to monitor. Kailangan i-check yung anak with their online distance learning, especially kung younger, and of course you need to attend to the needs of your kids. You need to attend also to other domestic concerns, and also maybe to older parents, to the needs of the older parents na dati sila yung gusto nila lumalabas, now they cannot move around. So here there are just so many things that we do not need to deal with before that is affecting our productivity. Meron ba ako nakalimutan, friends? May dumadagdag pa ba sa pagka-unproductive natin in this pandemic situation? Can you put it there in the chat? Meron ba kayong um, inisip? So, ayan, Edlin, I'll take that. Madaming iniisip. We tend to be overthinking, and that is why we need to check. I would add that to my discussion in a bit. And the thing is, if we are result oriented, achievement oriented, or output oriented, unproductivity, my title, unproductivity, it's not part of your vocabulary. Tama ba? Sino sa inyo na parang, I do not want a day to pass without being unproductive. There are people like that. There are people that they see their sense of self-worth and their fulfillment if they are productive, if they have output, if they get good results. But look at it this way. Productivity, if you look at how productivity is defined, productivity is a combination of physical, of mental resources, and even emotional, resulting from meaningful work. It can actually affect our motivation, our passion, and it's very clear that productivity ideally is connected to our life purpose. Ideally, ha, ideally. So, but besides that, yes, tinan nyo, look at that. Hi, Trina. Goals, aspire to be unproductive and be okay with it. Ma'am naman, ang aga ng tip, pero very good. I love that. Lourdes, always aiming to have good result. I like that, Kenneth. He said na parang hindi maganda sa well-being if you focus too much. But actually, many people and many others are programmed that way. But I would like that. Hindi maganda sa well-being if we focus too much. Too much. The operational word is too much. Remember, anything in excess is not healthy. Anything in excess is not healthy. Excessive alcohol, excessive puyat, excessive meat, excessive junk food, anything in excess is not okay. Even excessive productivity. Yung gabi na hindi ka pa rin tumitigil na parang walang bukas. I'm gonna tell you, friends, anything in excessive, we also, look at it this way, you have excessive excuses to do or excessive excuses not to do. What are the excessive excuses to keep doing? Wala naman akong gagawin eh. Kaya ko naman. Ayan. I would like to finish para bukas wala na. I've heard of some people, Sunday pa lang magsisimula na silang magtrabaho. Why? Because they want it that Monday wala na silang backlog or para Monday hindi sila matambakan. But Sunday is the Lord's day. Sunday is Sabbath. Sunday, if you're spiritual or not, it's actually the time to rest. That is why the Lord rested on the seventh day. Ako talagang tingin ko yan eh. So, there are people who's asking me, Doc, can we do a tech run? Can we do a meeting on a Sunday? No, that's sacred for me. I gave in to some talks only if in the context of maybe a mission or a service that's connected to my faith, but not necessarily a professional talk. So look at it this way. What are the excessive excuses that we put in order to be productive? Ako, what I realized, what I gathered from people, because I need to keep doing my best, because I can handle it anyway, and I don't have anything much to do at night. And another thing is that I still want to do it kasi walang ibang gagawa kundi ako. So there's that feeling, that messianic complex. Another, and the other end of that is that excessive excuses not to do or produce. Excessive excuses, ito naman yung the downside of being unproductive. Yung ayaw mo na lang magtrabaho and you just simply don't care. That's another thing. But what are the excuses? Hindi ko kaya. So, hindi ko kaya, learned helplessness, may iba naman nagagawa, I don't have the right resources to do it. So, all these things. But look at it. What's affecting our productivity? Let's look at the things that's affecting our productivity. One, it's our emotional state. I'll repeat that. Emotional state. maybe sadness happen, maybe you are in grief, maybe you are in the middle of a loss and you're so lonely, and that is actually um affecting your productivity. Yes. Okay, I will take it from here. What's affecting your productivity? Pressure from the boss. Yes, it can affect your productivity. But I would like that's for me, that's an external productivity issue. Because what are the internal productivity issues is something that you put in your head. So your emotional state, your state of how can you be productive if you're dealing with grief and loss? How can you be productive if at home there's chaos? So look at it that way. You said that you want to be organized with work. You want to do your best. You want to earn money, but your home is being chaotic. There is problem in the family. Your child is already showing signals that they need time with you. They need help, but you're not heeding it. Your marriage is on the rocks, and then we're gonna think that we still want to be productive. I still want to please my boss. My promotion is dependent on this. Then I believe it's going to really affect us, those things. So emotional state. Another is that uncertainty in the pandemic. That is really the cause of many overthinking. Ang dami, they're overthinking. They're just, kailan matatapos to? Anong mangyayari after? Ako personally, I don't want to look at it. I just would like to see the next quarter, make plans for the next quarter. Kung ano man ang mangyari after the pandemic, it's not in our hands to tell. But it's in our hands to tell and to tell what will we can do now, what we are capable of, and what we can work on. Ako, hanggang ganun lang yung isip ko. For now, that's how I've been going on in this pandemic situation. Of course, uncertainty of the pandemic, another thing that's affecting our productivity of our goals and timeline. Kasi kailangan at 2024, meron kaming ipon na ganito. At 2025, kasi kailangan namin magpagawa ng bahay. But who made those goals? Honestly, it's all man-made. Nobody dictated it to us. But if we keep being fixated on the goals that we have and the timeline that we have set, but in the middle of the pandemic, our physical and mental health and even our relationship with our family is already on the rocks. Do you think that it's still sulit and worthwhile to focus on your goals if one aspect of your life is already collapsing? So, bakit ka ba magpapagawa ng bahay? Para saan pa yung dream trip na pinaplano mo? Kung sa ngayon naman, in this situation, your mental health is crumbling, you're getting sick, but you're not recognizing. And your marriage is actually being tested and your family life is not at a okay state. So think about it. Think about it. We need to look into how are we, that goal is realistic and that timeline is realistic because it's going to affect our productivity. Your home reality, ito ang pinakamarami kong narinig. There's COVID in the house, other people. Last Saturday, I had my Martha's Post workshop. Thank you to everybody who attended. It was a beautiful 3-hour bitin pa session with you ladies. But what I realized, there are some who messaged me that they're in home quarantine during the time. And see, that's a home reality that no matter with how much we would like to put out work, but if our reality is that I am limited because I'm on quarantine or somebody in the family is sick and I need to look after them. So what will happen? That's home reality. We have different contexts and different circumstances in our homes, and we should be able to acknowledge it, and on sickness, and of course, physical and mental health. As the World Health Organization said, there is no health without mental health. So you need to realize how much your mental health and your physical health are connected, and then that's actually affecting your productivity or your unproductivity. Which one of this that I mentioned is affecting you, friends? Can you put that in the chat? Alin dito yung biggest impact in your productivity? Or meron ba akong nabanggit na hindi, meron ba akong hindi nabanggit that you think is affecting your productivity? Um, Looking at all the productivity, it's actually affected by our personal circumstances. Diba? Itong mga bagay na that I mentioned, even though that's why um I have some programs on my personal as a professional. Yes, I'm a registered psychologist, but I am doing talks and trainings for corporations, for organization, workplace mental health. I've been doing that. Why? If you see that, Doc, but di ba ang forte mo family? Yes, but family, kasama sa family ang well-being. And if you see, we're in the middle of a pandemic and mostly are at home. If you see, if you try to segregate work before, because of that sense that work should be in another area of this expertise. But you see now, where is everybody? They're at home. And if our mental health, our physical life, and our family life is crumbling, what will happen to our health? Can you answer that to me? For me, somebody said, Trina, feeling of need to do because it's a responsibility, especially if it's family. Yes, but on all the things that we need to do, are we? I would like you to reflect that in this talk about unproductivity. In everything that we need to do, you need to reflect on these three words: need, need, ability, and wants. This is something that I always like to reflect about. This is not actually part of my discussion, but it just sprout out sa akin ngayon. We need to look at this. Need, ability, and wants. Nasan tayo dito? Do we always need to do because that's what we need to give 100% of our waking hours to our needs? But there are days that our physical and even our emotional state would really not cooperate. Our bodies and our hearts are speaking to us that I cannot do it. So, what are you capable of? What is your ability? What are you able to do on a particular day? And you also check, am I giving myself that space, the time, and the capacity to do what I want? Yes, there's nothing wrong to do what we need to do because that's important and that's productivity. But do you work on your capacity? Do you work on your ability? Yes or no? Do you use your ability? Or sometimes, if you are simply not capable, are you kind to yourself on days that I, even though I'm able, sometimes our heads can, but our bodies cannot. So it speaks a lot already. So there are days that you need to balance this: needs, ability, and wants. Yes, you do your need, but you check your ability and also you give time to your wants. Tasan kayo dito. For me, each day, there's no perfect formula here, but each day we need to continuously balance this. I think this is something that I would end about. I would like to ask you, if you're completing about 70 to 80% of your needs each day and giving maybe 70% of your ability to that needs, and then I believe we're okay. I don't want to be 100%. I don't want. Because I would like to leave room for my wants. I would like to, even though it's hard, sometimes it's so hard to give room for unproductivity. Is productivity healthy? It's unproductivity healthy? I would like us to reflect about this. Unproductivity it's okay if it's going to support our total well-being and it's going to reflect on our later productivity. Are you getting it? Unproductivity is okay, acceptable, and healthy if it's going to support our physical, mental, emotional, and even our spiritual and relational health. And it's going to bring more productivity later. But unproductivity, it's no longer healthy if it's becoming an excuse already for not to produce, not to work, not to find our purpose. Magkaiba siya, friends. Kasi we want to be unproductive on some days. Like I said, check your ability and give into your wants. Because we want to do more later. We want to give our best. I have a tough Friday. I'm going to be full schedule Wednesday and Friday. So maybe Thursday I'll be a little bit unproductive so that I can, vuelo. I can have more energy to give. Like tomorrow, I have two sessions tomorrow. One is for a corporate corporate session on well-being, and the other one it's with Mommy Mundo on digital children. So check that out. I'm going to share it here at my Facebook page and with Google. So I have two major talks tomorrow that I would like to prepare for. So i-adjust ko yung ibang schedule ko at hindi na ako maglalagay ng ibang mga bagay that will get my energy. Are you getting me? So there. Um, so unproductivity on some hours and on some days, it's okay, especially if you would like to reserve and recharge more of us to be able to give more. Unproductivity, it's needed when we're sick, when we're preparing for something bigger on another day because we're reserving our energy, like what I'm telling you. And when you're dealing with severe stress, toxic stress, that's too much for you. And even sometimes people with severe stress, they're getting body manifestation, like they feel that they're getting migraine, headache, they're vomiting, they have flu-like symptoms, pero hindi, but because it's maybe severe stress. And do you know that one of the signs of burnout is that feeling that you are accomplishing less? So you need to look into your being productive, unproductive, and you need to know how can I be unproductive if these are already what's happening. You need to prepare for something bigger, you are already getting sick, you're dealing or have just recently dealt with so much toxic stress. And when you think that your unproductivity, it's already a sign. That's one of the signs. There's three signs of burnout. That feeling of less accomplishments or feeling unproductive. The other is emotional exhaustion, and the other one it's that depersonalization, wala kang pakialam. So if these three, one of them it's that feeling of unproductivity. It's not okay if you keep putting things off, ayaw mo lang i-deal with. It's not okay when you're indulging on activities to distract. Gusto ko maging unproductive. So, ilang araw ka nang nagbi-binge on Netflix. Hindi ka rin natutulog, but you're not doing to be productive. You're not doing anything to support yourself. So you have to check that. And if it's already affecting your career and your daily functioning, hindi ka naman dating ganyan. But why are your unproductivity is bringing you nowhere. So you have to check, are you in the healthy productivity to be unproductivity to be able to restore your well-being, or you are in the unhealthy unproductivity that you are actually in that state of um, languishing, or maybe in the state that you don't care anymore and then you're not doing anything to support yourself. Where are you at the moment? I will leave you with that, friends. I think I've shared so many areas already of being unproductive, and I know that many of us can relate. If there's one thing that you think is you can resonate with, what is your, I would like you to put it in the comment section. What affects you to be unproductive, or what is your goal, why do you want to be so productive, what's affecting your productivity. Another thing is that you think that your productivity unproductivity is okay, or you think it's not okay. Are you operating in that zone that I would like to be unproductive because I need to recover? It has a recovery feature. I would like to be unproductive because I would like to reboot or reset myself, or I would like to recharge. Those are the healthy or the acceptable reasons why we want to be unproductive. But if you are operating in the zone that I am unproductive because I don't care if I'll have food, I don't care about the people who's dependent on me, and I don't care because your unproductivity is affecting your career and your relationships, I think it's something that you can reflect about. So that's about our unproductivity session. I hope that this is a productive time for you, friends. I would like to invite you, please put that one word that you can capture, one phrase that you can capture. Where are you? Are you the healthy productive, or are you the unhealthy unproductive? I would like you to reflect about this and bring it with you so that on Thursday we can continue on in the other aspects on What else can we do regarding being productive and unproductive? Because I know that many of you can relate with this. So please share this video to family and friends if needed. And don't forget, I would really appreciate if you send digital gifts through Facebook. It's called Stars. So they are your digital gifts to be able to support the mission that I do here at Coffee Break. So I hope that this is some new things that you can reflect about. Get your coffee, reflect. Pag nag-coffee break ako, am I productive or unproductive? Yung coffee break ba, ginagawa kong indulgence or ginagawa ko siya para matuto ko at i-apply sa ibang area ng buhay because I'm hoping that that's what coffee break can do for you. I hope that you join me again on another session of Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michelle Alignay. See you on Thursday, either via Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify. I hope that you be productive but learn to be unproductive too. Share with me your thoughts here at the comment section. God bless everyone.